All right, so I wanted to make this video. There's gonna be another post-game recap. It was gonna be from last night's games. I'm trying to catch back up after I'm a little late with the previous two uploads. I'm trying to get them up right now. I've just been having some uploading issues. They've been taking forever, so forgive me for that. But yeah, let's go. Let's go check this. Let's go check the games from yesterday. So the first game is the Bulls and the Pacers. And this game, the Pacers won by 6 points. And DeMar DeRozan had his typical 33 points, obviously led the team in scoring, which is kind of at this point, it's kind of expected that he does that. And he shot, let me check his shooting splits. He shot 14 of 21 from the field, so he actually was really efficient. That's great. And he had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block. Good for him. That's DeMar DeRozan's a very good player, and I would like to see him compete on a winning team, but we'll see what happens. Nikola Vucevic was the second leading scorer, and had 20 points. He was 9 of 14 from the field and 2 of 2 from 3. So he actually was really efficient as well. And he had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. So he definitely filled up the stat sheet with great shooting numbers, and just he did his thing for sure. Zach LaVine was a kind of mid. He only had 14 points. He was pretty inefficient. He was only 4 of 14 from the field and 0 of 7 from 3. And he had 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Yeah, Zach LaVine's kind of been up and down this year. I'm not too sure how I feel about him. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's definitely not as consistent as DeRozan is. At least in my opinion. But anyways. Let's take a look at the next one. So that's Pacers side of things. Sorry, I almost forgot about the Pacers. Buddy Hield had 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. So he was 5 of 14 from the field and 4 of 11 from 3. So he wasn't really that efficient, but however, on the defensive side, he actually really did his thing. He had 4 steals and 3 blocks. A shooting guard having those kind of defensive stats is actually pretty impressive, so good for him. Miles Turner had 26 points and 7 rebounds. No assists, but he definitely did his thing. And he was 11 of 21 from the field. And 2 of 7 from 3. But he did have 1 block in the paint. He did have 1 block, so he did his thing scoring-wise, but didn't do much of anything else. T.J. McConnell had 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 10 assists. Like I said in the last video, T.J. McConnell is a very underrated point guard. He's actually got very good playmaking abilities for a backup point guard, so if he's anytime, I don't know when he's a free agent, but I wouldn't be surprised if teams were lining up trying to get him, trying to recruit him to go to their team. So, and he was 9 of 14 from the field and 1 of 1 from 3. So he took 1 3-pointer and made it. And he had 3 steals as well. So, on top of the 3 rebounds and 10 assists. So definitely did his thing. Chris Duarte, who is one of the young players on this team, only had 11, but he did have 9 rebounds and 3 assists. He was not really that efficient, actually. He was 2 of 11 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. So he actually wasn't that he didn't really play that well at all, but he did have 1 steal in there. But yeah, he didn't really play too well. Benedict Mathurin, he's definitely in the run for Rookie of the Year for sure. He's played very well for them. He was 10 of 17 from the field. He had 26 points, by the way. 10 of 17 from the field. He was only 20% from 3, but he was efficient from the field. 10 of 17. 7 rebounds and 2 assists. You know, definitely did. You know, he definitely good stats for a young player, and yeah, just keep it going, I guess. The next game was the Cavs-Knicks game. This is actually a very close game. Cavs and the Knicks won this game by 2 points. And against the Cavs, it's a pretty impressive win because both of them are in the run to make the playoffs. The Cavs are, I believe, the 5th seed, and the Knicks are the 7th seed, I believe. So they're both trying to compete. So they're both trying to compete for good positioning in the playoffs. So good for him. Good for the Knicks. On the Cavs side of things, Evan Mobley had 12 and 7. Definitely a big drop off from that other game he had against the Bucks, where he had 38. He was 6 of 11 from the field and 0 of 1 from 3. So he was pretty efficient, but he didn't really shoot the ball that much. But he did have 1 steal and 2 blocks. So, Evan Mobley's a stud defensively, so you expect him to put up numbers like that. Jared Allen, 24 points and 12 rebounds. He definitely did his thing against the Knicks. He was 12 of 17 from the field, so incredibly efficient. But, that's to be expected. He mainly scores inside of the paint, so it's kind of expected with him. And he had one assist and 1 block. So on top of the 12 rebounds. So good for him. Jared Allen's actually one of my favorite centers in the entire league. He's incredibly underrated in my opinion. And again, if you guys want to want me to make videos talking about like certain players and my opinion of those set players, let me know in the comments below what you guys want me to do. Donovan Mitchell did his thing. Donovan Mitchell did his thing. He had 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. So a near triple-double. Was not really that efficient, though. 9 of 24 from the field and 6 of 14 from 3. So really not that efficient for Donovan Mitchell, but not terrible. But he did have 4 steals and 1 block, so he definitely did his thing on the defensive side of the ball as well. And then the last guy worth talking about on the Cavs side of things is Darius Garland. He had 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. 1 second. My internet's kind of being stupid. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, my internet just kind of shut off for a second. He was 6 of 17 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Not terrible efficiency, but not great either. But he did have 2 steals on top of the 4 rebounds and 6 assists. So, definitely did his thing. So that covers and then on the Knicks side of things, Julius Randle led the team in scoring. He had 36 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists. Even though I'm kind of on the boat that Julius Randle is a little bit overrated, I'm not saying he's not talented. He's definitely he's a pretty good scorer when he's got it going. So, but he's kind of inconsistent sometimes. He has a lot of those games where he just shoots the ball a lot, but hardly makes anything. And it ends up hurting the team. So, he was 11 of 21 from the field and 8 of 12 from 3. Wow. Julius Randle hitting 8 3-pointers, that definitely is not something you see every day from him. He's definitely not known for just nailing threes like that. Sure, he'll make a couple threes here and there, but he's not known for hitting 8, especially 8 of 12. That's almost 80% from 3. So he was definitely hot that night from 3. 13 rebounds and 4 assists. He didn't have any steals or blocks, but he was that's pretty impressive. R.J. Barrett chipped in with 16 points, and was 5 of 12 from the field and 3 of 5 from 3. So pretty efficient from the 3-point line, but not really too efficient. And he wasn't too efficient from the field, but he was 60% from 3. But he did have 1 steal and 1 block to go along with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. So, good for him. Jalen Brunson was had a little bit of an off night, it looks like. 5 of 13 from the field and 1 of 3. He only had 14 points, but Julius Randle definitely stepped up big in this one and definitely did his thing. So, but he's still that glue guy. That he's still very important to the Knicks' success. So, definitely worth every bit of that contract, without a doubt. And that's pretty much it for that game. This game I don't really want to talk about because I'm still kind of pissed off about it. But the Celtics Miami Heat game, we lost this. We were up by 10 in the fourth quarter. We were up by 10 in the fourth quarter and choked it. Yes, we were missing a bunch of our starters, but that's still no excuse to blow a 10-point lead in like less than 2 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tatum, he did his thing, I guess. He had 31 and 14 and 7 assists. I mean, he did all he could because he was really the only guy that could create his own shot that was out there. Plus, like, we're just, when Al Horford and when we're missing guys like Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and a bunch of our big guys, and we have to go small, our defense takes a major hit, and Bam Adebayo was scoring all over us. So, I'm hoping, obviously we want to rest our guys, but at the same time, it's kind of like this was supposed to be a game of redemption, considering we lost to the Magic the previous night by 15 points. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, he was 9 of 18 from the field, so he was 50% from the field, and 2 of 5 from 3, so 40% from 3. But which is a good game. That's not a bad game, but I don't know. I just felt like watching him. He just really didn't have much going. He couldn't really get his shot to go in consistently. But Grant Williams at 10, Robert Williams had 11 and 8. Peyton Pritchard at 10, 7 and 4. He actually did some work down there. But our second leading scorer was Derek White, who had 23 points. But he was 7 of 17 from the field and 2 of 7 from 3. So not incredibly efficient, but he did have 2 steals and 1 block. So, and on the Heat side of things, Max Strus had 13 points. Max Strus is one of their 3-point shooters. But Bam Adebayo was definitely the star of the night. He had 30 and 15 rebounds. And he did that all without Jimmy Butler being there. So, and he was 12 of 22 from the field with 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. So he definitely had himself a night. Haywood Highsmith. We constantly kept leaving open at the 3-point line, and I was getting pissed. And he was nailing them motherfuckers. He was 5 of 7. Yeah, he was 4 of 4 from 3 because we kept leaving him open. So I understand we had guys out, but that's still no excuse to play bad defense like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Victor Oladipo had 12 points, but everybody else scored in single digits. But yeah, that kind of covers that game. The next game is the Nuggets and Pelicans game. From what I saw, this really came down to the wire. Nikola Jokic actually hit a game-winning shot or go-ahead shot to win the game for them. So the thing is, the Nuggets had a big lead in the fourth quarter, but the Pelicans cut the lead and even had the lead at one point. They came back, but Nikola Jokic kept the Pelicans from winning the game. So Nikola Jokic, I honestly could see Nikola Jokic three-peating as an MVP. And I know a lot of people are thinking, voter fatigue is gonna make that not happen, but there is a real possibility that he does. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's actually still leading. He's leading the race right now, so there is a chance he does win his third MVP in a row. You know what I'm saying? Nikola Jokic is different. He's really, really good. He's especially for a big man who could pass the way he does. You don't see that in the NBA. That's such a rare breed of players Like, I don't know, like, will we ever see another Nikola Jokic? I mean, there are a couple. I mean, obviously, big men have definitely gotten more skilled and have in recent years and have been able to shoot the ball from three as well as be able to pass a little more and control the tempo. So, and Nikola Jokic is definitely one of those players in the evolution of centers. So, yeah, I'll definitely make a video on Nikola Jokic for sure. I definitely want to go more in depth about him because he's definitely a player I have a lot to say about. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins his third MVP in a row, and be the first player to do it since Larry Bird. So, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, and in terms of score, the box score, Bruce Brown has 11 points and 2 rebounds. Bruce Brown, is he was a role player from the Nets. His 3-point shooting has gotten better, which is good. The Nuggets are definitely going to need his floor spacing. Aaron Gordon had 11 as well. Nikola Jokic had himself a triple-double. 25, 11, and 10. You see what I'm talking about? Like, a center having a triple-double. Like, who the fuck was doing that in the early 2000s? What center was getting triple doubles left and right in the early 2000s? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time, the centers are getting the ball fed to them from their point guards, as opposed to the center actually being the playmaker. That's, like, that was not common. That was, like, almost not a thing in the early 2000s, let alone the 90s and the 80s and all that. So, big men have definitely gotten more skilled over the years, for sure. And Nikola Jokic is one of those rare breeds, so... he was also incredibly efficient, 11 of 15 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3. And 1 steal to go along with the triple-double. So, yeah, he's so underrated, man. He's so underrated. A lot of people talk about him, but I don't think, like, he gets the respect that he deserves, in my opinion. Jamal Murray also had 25 and 7 assists and 1 rebound. Jamal Murray is probably the second best player on the team. Jamal Murray, I'm glad that you've came back from that you seem to be playing well coming off the ACL tear that you had in 2021. I'm glad that you've seemed to recover from that and have seemed to, play, kind of get back to playing like your old self. Jamal Murray's definitely been very good for them. And honestly, I could see a world where the Nuggets make a run to the finals, if I'm being honest. The Nuggets are a very good team. And they're only getting better and better. And honestly, getting Aaron Gordon in 2021 was an underrated move that is not being talked about enough, because Aaron Gordon is definitely a key, like, pick and roll player. He's very good in the pick and roll with Jokic. They have great chemistry. So, against the Pelicans, he was 11 of 21 from the field and 3 of 8 from 3. So pretty good efficiency. And he had 3 steals. So, yeah, good for him. But everybody else scored in single digits, so we're not really going to talk about those guys. On the Pelican side of things, let's check on this side. CJ McCollum led the way for them in terms of scoring with 20. He kind of had to, because they're without Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram right now. So he's kind of had to be the main scorer. So he wasn't really that efficient, though. He was 9 of 22 from the field and 0 of 8 from 3. So he got a lot. He got 20 points, but took 22 shots to get 20 points. That's not really efficient. But Jose Alvarado, another player that I want to make a video about at some point. One of my favorite guards in the league. He kind of reminds me a lot of Patrick Beverley, how he's just a pesky little guard that comes up from you and steals it from behind. He was giving Chris Paul a lot of trouble last year in that first round series. And that was definitely fun to watch. And he's sneaky. He's sneaky, and he's incredibly quick. And he even had one game where he had like 38 points, like almost a 40-piece, and was knocking down threes. So he can also shoot as well. So he's definitely an underrated player for sure. He's definitely he's known for his defense, without a doubt, and known for his peskiness on the defensive end. So very underrated. Against the Nuggets, he was 8 of 12 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3. So he didn't make a lot of threes, but he was 8 of 12 from the field, so that's pretty good. Hernan Gomez had 12, and Larry Nance Jr. had 10. So the real star of the game was definitely Jokic with that triple-double. Wizards pull out a really close one against Dallas. And Kyle Kuzma leads the way with 30 points. Kyle Kuzma, ever since leaving the Lakers, honestly, has become a better player. I think he's having the best season of his career right now, I think, in terms of averages of points, efficiency, and play and assists and all that. So good for him. Good for him. Because I think he was definitely held back playing with LeBron and the Lakers. I mean, obviously, did he win a ring with them? Yes. But did he win a ring with them? Absolutely. But he definitely didn't really look. He looked like he looked very inconsistent because there was never really a role crafted for him in that system with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So, but ever since he was traded to Washington, he's definitely grown as a player. And I've noticed that trend a lot with players that leave LeBron-led teams to go play for other teams. They play better individually. They play better individual stats, especially when a good example is Kevin Love. When he was on the Timberwolves, that man was averaging like 20, 25, and 15 or something like that. And as soon as he goes to Cleveland, he just becomes a fucking role player that just shoots threes. I mean, did he make all-star teams on the Cavs? Yes, but again, he was like, you basically just turned into a role player for them, which is kind of sad because Kevin Love was such an underrated power. He was one of the best power forwards in the NBA in like 2013, 2014. So that's unfortunate what happened to his career. But he's a valuable veteran on the Cavs right now on the young Cavs right now with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and all those guys. So he's definitely and he could still shoot threes. So he could definitely be that guy and just step up. He's had a couple 25, 30-point games in this year and last year. So but anyways, back to Kyle Kuzma. He against the Mavericks was 12 of 23 from the field and 2 of 10 from 3. So not really that efficient from 3, but did all right in field goal percentage. Bradley Beal had 22 points, 7 of 17 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. Typical Bradley Beal game, and he had 1 block on top of his 4 assists as well. Monte Morris had 13 points. Denny Avdi I can't even pronounce this dude's name. Denny Avdia, I believe is his name. Avdija or what? It's a weird name. It's a weird name. I can't remember how to pronounce it. But I'll you guys can let me know how to pronounce it in the comments. But he had against the Mavericks, he had 15 points. It was 3 of 5 from the field and 10 rebounds as well. So he had a double. And yeah, that pretty much covers the Wizards. On the Mavericks side, I'm guessing Luka led the way, right? Yes. Oh my God. He had 41 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. Luka also is another player that's just built different, in terms of his ability to completely control a game by himself. Luka is one hell of a talent. It just sucks that his team is very fucking inconsistent, because I think the Mavericks could be a title contender if they put the right pieces around Luka. But unfortunately, the front office has kind of failed him the last couple of years in terms of getting him the right talent that he needs, because they tried the Porzingis experiment, didn't really work, and now they just kind of try to surround him with three-point shooters and role players. But unfortunately, there's not really a second option next to Luka, so they definitely need to work on getting that for him, unless they are trying to literally drive him out of Dallas. But he was 16 of 29 from the field, so he actually was pretty damn efficient. He was 0-4 from 3, but he was pretty efficient from the field. 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. He played very well. That's a heartbreaker loss, too, because that's only like a 1-point loss. Dwight Powell had 22 points and 9 rebounds, so Dwight Powell actually kind of stepped up. He was 8 of 12 from the field. So he definitely did his thing. 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. Dorian Finney-Smith had 12. Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm sorry, but he's not a good player. Dorian Finney-Smith has kind of disappointed me. He's not as good. He just relies on. Dorian Finney-Smith is one of those role players that relies on someone to create their shots for him. He's one of those players. Like, he only looks good when he's like actually knocking his threes in. When he's a brick and not making anything, he looks fucking awful because he does nothing on the other end of the court to make up for it. Spencer Dinwiddie did have 20 and 6 of 15. So Spencer Dinwiddie is pretty much the second option. And he comes off the bench, by the way. He does not start for the Mavericks. So that kind of sucks. They definitely need to get him some more shot create. They need to get Luka some more help, without a doubt, and get him some. I'm actually going to. I should probably let you guys know this, but I will be going to the Suns Mavericks game on March 3rd, I believe it is. I will try to take some pictures and videos, and you'll see that on my Instagram as well. So be sure to check that stuff out because I'll definitely post, and I'll definitely be taking a lot of pictures and videos while that game's going on. So, and I'm hoping the Suns become healthy by the time that I actually go to that game. Like Chris Paul's came back, but I don't know. I haven't seen Devin Booker yet, so hopefully he'll be back by then. And Josh Green had 16 as well off the bench. So he did pretty good. Hornets Suns. The Suns beat the hell out of the Hornets, but again, that's expected. The Hornets fucking suck. So, Jalen McDaniels had 15 points and 10 rebounds. Mason Plumlee. I don't know how Mason Plumlee is having these high scoring games. He's I don't know. I know it sounds like in the last few videos I've just been kind of shitting on Plumlee, but I don't know how he's putting up these points, but good for him. And Terry Rozier had 19 points. I'm pretty sure the fact that Terry Rozier had 19 points and led the whole team in scoring, oh my God, that is a huge problem for the Hornets. So it looks like they were without LaMelo last night. So on the Suns side of things, Cameron Johnson, who was dealing with an injury all year, finally came back, and he had 24 points and led the team in scoring. Cam Johnson he's a very good shooter as well, and he was 6 of 7 from 3 and 9 of 11 from the field, so incredibly efficient. So that's awesome. And Mikal Bridges had 18. And he was 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Pretty good shooting splits. And obviously did his thing on the defensive end with a steal and a block. Chris Paul had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. So CP3, doing his usual, getting all those assists. Because he draws so much attention from the defense. He's even at an old age, he's getting them assist numbers. And he's 6 of 9 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. So very efficient as well when he did shoot the ball. Dario Saric had actually 19 and 8 rebounds and 3 assists. He was 6 of 9 from the field and 3 of 4 from 3. So he actually played very well and had a block in there too. So, definitely played well. Damian Lee had 11 points. Jock Landale had 15. And that's pretty much it. That covers all that for that game. So Cameron Johnson was the player of the game for the Suns there. And finally, we have the Lakers-Clippers game that was on TNT. Obviously, the Clippers blew out the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard, my favorite guy, my favorite player in the NBA, Kawhi, the Claw, had 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Your typical Kawhi game. Very efficient as well. 11 of 16 from the field. Did not make any threes. He was 0 of 4, but 11 of 16 from the field. Kawhi is one of the most efficient scorers in all of basketball, so he usually puts up really good shooting numbers, unless he has the occasional off game, but that doesn't happen. Kawhi usually doesn't have those off games too much when he's healthy. So Marcus Morris only had 5. Zubac had 6, but he did have 8 rebounds. So Paul George led the team in scoring with 27 points. He actually played really well. He was 11 of 20 from the field and 3 of 9 from 3. So 33% from 3 is about average. But 11 from 20 from the field, over 50% from the field is great. Combine that with 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. I've always been a fan of Paul George as well, so, good to see him play good. Terrence Mann also had chipped in with 17 points, and he was 5 of 10 from the field and 4 of 7 from 3. He was hitting them things. He played well, so good for him. And had 2 steals as well. So, next is Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson had 19 points. 7 of 13 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Also shot the ball really efficiently. The Clippers as a whole shot the ball really well, especially from 3. They were just making them all over the place, which is part of the reason they scored so much. They were just they were getting open threes almost all the time, and were knocking them down. And Norman Powell had 22 points as well. Norman Powell went off as well, and he had a bunch of threes. He was 4 of 5 from 3 and was 8 of 12 from the field. So Norman Powell also did his thing. So, yeah. And that pretty much covers it. Lakers side of things. So, another thing about LeBron, he had 46 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. And they still lost by almost 20 points. So I think the Lakers just need to hit the reset button and rebuild, because this is embarrassing. LeBron puts out an incredible performance for the fans, and they still end up losing horribly. So that is a problem with the Lakers. They're not consistent, and their defense is not really that good at all. So, and also I'm pretty sure he set an NBA record. He had scored 40 with this game, with this performance. He has now scored 40 points, at least 40 points, on every single team in the league. That's actually very impressive. I did not know that until last night. So, very impressive, even though I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT, there is a reason why LeBron is definitely the best. I say LeBron is definitely the best player of this generation. Maybe not of all time, but definitely of this generation for sure. And especially with the fact that he's 38 years old, guys. 38 years old. And he had dropped 46 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Had a damn near 46-point triple-double at 38 years old. That's pretty damn crazy. And he had 2 steals and a block. So, yeah. But yeah, other than him, the only 2 guys that scored in double figures were Thomas Bryant and Russell Westbrook. Those are the only guys that scored in double figures other than LeBron. And Thomas Bryant was 6 of 11 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. And Russell Westbrook obviously had 17. He was 4 of 13 from the field, though he wasn't really that efficient, and he was 1 of 4 from 3. But he did get 2 steals. Yeah. Not too great of a game from him, but everybody else was in single digits. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, that definitely covers it. That just about covers it. This video, that was all the games from yesterday. Tomorrow I'll make a video of the games for tonight. So yeah. Sorry again that the videos have been kind of like the uploading has been kind of weird and inconsistent with the last couple recaps, because the videos have been taking forever to upload, so I apologize for that. But I'll try the best I can to make it a little bit better and a little more consistent. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care.